Okay, so yesterday and the day before, we looked at solving equations. Okay, all the equations that you guys solved had one step in them. Okay, it was either add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Today we're going to solve equations again, except the only difference is going to be there's going to be two steps. Right? So as Mr. Roy said, you get a little two-step going on here.
Yeah, 2 steps.
All right, so same properties you already know from sections 3.1 and 3.2. Nothing new, just kind of combining both sections into the same lesson. All right, all the equations you solved today, you're all going to have to use 2 steps.
So you want me to do this?
Sure, why don't you go through that, Mr. Roy?
All right, so first thing, we're going to use that acronym like we talked about with PEMDAS. Right, so each letter stands for something. All right, we're going to do, the S is going to stand for simplify. And guys, real important that you understand, like it says right here, not every step will be done in every equation. You may skip a step, especially for the simplify part. All right, the 2 things that we're going to talk about for simplify, it might not happen in every problem. So understand, don't panic if you have to skip a step. All right, because it doesn't always happen. All this stuff doesn't always show up in every 2-step equation. All right, so simplify first. Two things will happen with simplify. All right, first thing will be you would use the distributive property. You may have to, and maybe the distributive property somewhere in that problem. Remember, the distributive property means multiply. Here's your little hint here if you forget to see it visually, guys. Remember, number here multiplied by the 2 numbers, or we won't get into 3 numbers inside the parentheses. Usually it's only 2. In what direction is the sign that belongs to that number? Who can tell me? What direction? There's only 2 directions, right? As I'm looking at it, it can be here or here. So what sign belongs to what number?
The sign on the left.
Sign to the left goes with it, right? Now, if there's no sign at all, we assume that's what? Positive, right? No sign, it's positive. So we take the number on the outside, multiply it by the 2 on the inside. All right, we're not going to get the example yet. We're going to do that in a second. I want to get this second step. I want to get this second thing under simplify. Next thing that could happen in simplify, combine like terms. And guys, try to do them in this order. Try to, if it's in the problem, all right, try to do your distributive property first, and then, because there might be something inside those parentheses that will lead you to combine like terms. Sometimes I just call Mr. Hager, I just call combined terms CLT. Right, so what are we going to do now? CLT. All right, and that's what combined like terms. Make sure, big important thing here, guys. Make sure those like terms are on the same side of the equal sign. You can't have like a 4y on one side and a 3y on the other side. It doesn't work that way. They have to be on the same side of the equal sign. They can't be on opposite sides. Okay? So, let's look at this example. We're just going to work through the S step, the simplify step. First step, use distributive. Good? Yes or no? Tell me, yes or no?
Yes.
Distributive, is there distributive there?
Oh, no.
No, right? There's no distributive. Perfect. Okay, let's look. So like I said, you might not have all the steps. You may not. Next thing says, combine like terms.
Yes.
And they have to be on the same side of the equal sign. All right, Sam, what are my like terms? And tell me the sign too.
3y negative 5y.
Nice job. So I got my 3y and my negative 5y. Here's my 2 like terms. When I simplify that, Sam, what do I get?
Negative 2y.
Negative 2, like we just talked about. 5 is bigger than 3, ignore the signs. I'll bring the sign down, negative 5, read from the bigger sign, the bigger number backwards. 5 minus 3, 2. Make sure you bring the y down with it. Everything else, I'm just going to bring down right now. I'm going to bring down my plus 7 and my negative 9. I'm going to bring that down and we'll work to the next step. Right? So simplify first, and like I told you guys, you may not have every step. We didn't have distributive in this problem. Okay? Next, the A stands for addition or subtraction. Right? Could be addition or subtraction, depending on what the signs tell you to say. So you have an A with a blank next to it, and you have an S with a blank next to it. Right? So those are the two things we're looking for in that next step. All right?
And this is where we might start moving stuff from
Yep.
side to side. Yep.
We're going to identify the number on the same side of the equal sign. So we're going to identify, just like we did before, we'll identify the number that's with the variable on the same side of the equal sign. Whatever that number is, it doesn't belong there, right? We want to get, at the end of all this, we want to get letter on one side, number on the other. Or it could be number on one side and letter on the other. Both ways work. That's what we're looking to do. All right, so what's the number? What's the number on the same side of the equal sign with the variable? Somebody tell me. What's the number on the same side of the equal sign with the variable? Let's start with this. What's in this problem? Negative 2y is my variable, right? I'll do that in a different color. Negative 2y is my variable. So, then, what's on the same side of the equal sign? 7. Perfect. So we identified it, right? Negative 2y. We know the number on the same side of the equal sign is positive 7. What's the next thing say? Well, that's it. We did that. So now, like it says, we want to do the opposite operation. It's a positive 7. Ariana, what do I have to do? Not yet. You're close. You're skipping this step. Because it says addition or subtraction, right? Nice job. I'm going to minus 7. Right? So I'm going to subtract 7. Anywhere else I have to subtract 7, Ariana? Negative 9, right? Good. Perfect. And I'm just going to simplify. Nothing happens with my negative 2y. I'm not at that point yet. I'm going to bring it down. Negative 2y. We did this just because we didn't do this to say, hey, I'm really good at math and I want to cancel something out. We got to get this variable by itself. That's canceled out. All right? So I do negative 9, negative 7. What's that? Positive 16? Negative 16. Don't make the mistake. You're not multiplying here. If you're multiplying, yes, it would turn to a positive, but you're not. All right? Signs are the same that we talked about earlier. That's why we did that. Signs are the same. Keep it. Negative 16. Now we're ready for the next step. So, what's the last letter? M? M, right? Was the last one. Sabrina, what do you think that M stands for? Multiply, right? And then there's an or, right? What do you think the or is? So it's multiply or. That's our last step. Yep. Multiply or divide. All right, we want to multiply or divide. Now this looks like something that we did last night for homework. This step right here looks like what we did on, what was it? Monday maybe? We did it Monday night for homework. All right, we had that, and then this step right here looks like what we did last night. So we're just combining what we did the last couple days. All right, so multiply or divide. Let's turn that the right way. So, multiply or divide, we're going to identify the number with the variable. We will divide both sides of the number if it's a whole number attached to the variable. If there's a whole number attached, we will divide. If it's multiply, we'll multiply both sides if it's a fraction. Like I said, remember to flip the fraction on both sides. If you're going to multiply, if it's a fraction, make sure you flip it. We were having a hard time with that last night. I'll give you guys a second to get this down. said, guys, I'll say it again, make sure when we're doing the fractions, make sure we flip it. We weren't doing that last night. Guys, it'll be like 30 more seconds. Gonna take us home and stay?
Everyone get that multiply and divide step? All right. So we're going to look at that. And now our two options are we're either going to have to multiply to get y by itself, or we're going to have to divide. Does anybody see which one is going to be here?
Divide.
Multiply, Caitlin?
Divide.
Yeah, how do you know divide?
Because on the other side it's multiplied.
Exactly. On the other side, right now, you're multiplying. Okay, and as Mr. Wright said, you always do the opposite operation. We have -2 times y. Caitlin, what are you going to divide by?
2.
-2. Good. Okay, so when you divide by -2, Sabrina, what cancels out on the left? Yep, the negative and the 2. And what do you get on the right? What's -16 divided by -2? 8. Positive or negative? Positive. Good job. And there's your answer. Y equals 8. Okay. Do you guys have any questions on the steps that we just went through or how we applied them to that problem? All right, so keep those steps out as we go through the next few problems, and we can look back at them. If you get stuck, you can, try to refresh your memory.
You guys have a spot on your page for example 2.
All right, so when I see a problem like this, as I go through it, first thing I ask myself is, okay, what's the first step? Even if I don't have to do it, I got to check and see if I have to do it. What's your very first step?
AddSubtract.
Well, in this problem, that might be what we have to do, but what's the first step you always got to check for, even if it's not in this problem? Maria? What's it begin with? Simplify, right? Simplify. Okay? 2 things under simplify. What's the first thing we got to check for? Let's see if it's in this problem. About Ryan?
The first thing you have to check for is addition or subtraction.
No,
Under simplify.
Simplify.
Divide,
Un-
right?
no, under simplify, you got 2 steps, right?
You have
Yes, yeah, two little.
So what's your first step under simplify?
use a distributive property.
Yep, use the distributive property. Do you have a distributive property here? No. No, distributive property, as Mr. Roy showed you, you're going to have parentheses with a number on the outside. Not in this problem. Okay? So we don't have to do that. One more thing we got to check for under simplify. We had to do this in the last problem. Combine like terms. Are there any like terms on the left, Maria? No. Anything on the right? There's like terms on the right? No. So there's no like terms in this problem. All right? Yeah.
Mistake, but you got a -2 and a 14.
Yep, they're on different sides though.
Oh, man.
Okay? So when we combine like terms, we're just looking for things that are on the same side that we can combine. All right, so nothing to do under simplify this time. Okay, Michaela, what's my next step after simplify? Perfect, addition or subtraction. Okay, is there any addition or subtraction I have to do here to try to get y by itself? So anything I can move to the other side? Yeah, the -2. Perfect. Okay, and how would you move a -2? What's the opposite of -2? You're going to do a +2 and a +2. Good job. Okay. When you do -2 + 2, we've done that a lot. You get 0, cancels out. Gauge on the left-hand side. What do I have here? Good. On the right-hand side? 16. All right, that's step 2. We're done adding and subtracting in this problem. Right? Gabe, what's my third and last step? Multiply or divide. All right. Which one do you have to do here to get y by itself?
Divide.
Divide. Good. What do you divide by?
4.
Perfect. So there was multiplication here. He knows the opposite of multiplication is division. Perfect. Divide each side by 4. And Justin, can you finish that up for me? What do I get for y?
4.
Good. You get y equals 4. Okay. We're not going to check them all, but as always, we'll check maybe the first one just to remind you guys how to do it. Okay, Corey, how do I check it? What do I have to do with this number? Exactly. Rewrite the problem, putting 4 in for y. All right. So what's it going to be, Corey? Can you read it to me, filling in 4 for y? 4 times 4 minus 2. And hopefully that's going to come out to 14. All right, let's check it. Zach, what do I do first here? 4 times 4 or 4 minus 2?
4 minus 3.
So think of your order of operations. PEMDAS. What comes first, multiplication or subtraction? Yeah. What's 4 times 4? 16. And Sam, 16 minus 2
14.
gives me 14 equals 14. We're good. Okay? Does anyone have any questions on that one? All right. Okay, we got one little bit different. Okay, we got that fraction bar in there, so we're going to have to deal with that. But we'll go through step by step. All right, Victor, can you remind us again, what's our first step? Even if you don't have to do it. Good. Yep, the simplify. Okay, use the distributive property. How about Sabrina? Do we have a distributive property here?
No.
No. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next part of simplify. Alex, what's that second step under simplify?
Combine like terms.
Combine like terms. Do I have any like terms here? No? What about the 9 and the 13?
Oh.
No. I'm trying to trick you. Why not? Why don't we combine those?
Because they're not on the same side.
They're not on the same side.
Nice.
Okay, good job. All right, so simplify. Nothing you have to do in this problem. Okay, next step. Ariana, what's my second step? Not multiply and divide yet. Look at your sheet. After simplify, what's it? Addition or subtraction. Great. So that's our next step, addition or subtraction. Caitlin, do you see any adding or subtracting here? Yeah, what are you going to do here?
You could subtract 9 from both sides.
Good job. Yep, you're going to subtract 9 from both sides. That's going to be gone. Ryan, what's on the left-hand side now?
X over 5.
Good, x over 5. Okay, and the right-hand side, Callan, what do we have on the right-hand side? 4. Yeah. 13 take away 9, Gives me 4. Okay, now we're down, we've taken this from a 2-step problem, now we're down to a 1-step problem. The kind of thing you would have seen in the homework last night. Okay, so Maria, what's my third and final step in that sheet we've got there?
Multiply 5 by 5 and 4 by 5.
Right, we're at the multiply and divide step. In this case, you said it perfect. Multiply both sides by 5. Okay, and then what's going to happen when I multiply by 5 on the left?
You're gonna cross out
They're going to cross out. And what do I have left there?
4.5.
Well, just start with the left-hand side.
X.
X.
X equals times 5.
4 times 5, and go ahead and simplify that.
It's 20.
20, good job. Okay, does anybody need me to check that one? Need me to check it? Okay. If you want it, you could, but if you check it, it's going to work fine. Plug in 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. It would check. It does work. Okay. Let's see. So that was example 3. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one. All right. So remember, we said you might have to do that simplify step. Okay. Not saying you definitely have to do it here, but I'm just reminding you, you might have to. Okay. All right. Rose, what's that first step? We just said it?
Simplify.
Simplify, good. What's one thing you want to check for under simplify?
Combine terms.
Combine like terms? Yep, that's the second thing you want to check for.
Distributive property.
And distributive property, good.
Distributive property.
Okay, do we have a distributive property? So that means we've got 2 things inside parentheses and 1 thing on the outside? Yeah, we don't have a distributive property here, right? Distributive property would look something like this. If you had something on the outside and 2 things on the inside.
Oh, Rose, I think I know what you get. I think I know what you're getting at. Well, you wanna do something with that negative, right? Yeah. And what do you want to make that? Positive, right? Because there's a negative sign on the outside, right, with no number with it to the left of it. So what could we put there? We could put a plus sign, but what number could we put there?
I would.
You don't have to, but you could say you put a -1 there, and -1 times -3 is positive, right? Or just as simple as seeing 2 negative signs, they become what? You have 2 negative signs in a row, they become positive, right?
Yeah. So what do you get when you take 8 minus -3? Or as you said, 8 plus 3?
You get 11.
Oh, you get 11. What did you just do? You just took 2 things, you did, what step was that? Yeah, you just combine like terms. Perfect. You had subtraction. And I can cross it out, make it addition if you want. Okay, so 8 plus 3, you combine like terms. Let's check the right-hand side. Okay, is there any more like terms we can combine there? About Deb?
What is that next to the 5?
A Z?
Oh.
Yeah.
5Z and 6Z. Combine them.
All right, I do agree with you. There's something we can combine. You said a positive 5Z and what else?
Negative 6Z.
Good, negative 6Z. All right. For now, that's 7. There's nothing I can combine it with, so I'm just going to copy it down. And Jalen, can you tell me what's 5Z? Take away 6Z. Negative 1? So the Z's are gone?
Oh, sorry. Negative 1z.
Good job. You can write it just like you said, negative 1Z. Or you could just put negative Z. Either way. All right. So I think we're good with combined like terms. We actually had to do it twice. We had to do it on the left, then we had to do it on the right. Okay. Next step, Sam. What do I do next? Yeah, so you had the two options here. Are you going to add or subtract? She did it perfect. Subtract 7 from 7, and where else?
And from 11.
And from 11. Okay, Justin, when I do that, what do I have on the left-hand side?
On the left-hand side, you have 11 minus 7.
Yep, which is
4.
4. Good job. Okay, 11 minus 7 gives me 4. 7 take away 7, that's gone. And on the right-hand side, Gabe, what do I have now? So we're right at this step. So we just canceled out our 7s. And what's left on the right-hand side? That's a Z.
No.
That's a Z. Negative 1 times Z. That's all we have left. Now we're down to our last step. Gage, can you finish this one up?
What?
You finish that up and solve for Z?
Oh, yeah, we divide -1 by z, right?
You want to divide each side by what?
By -1.
Yeah, good job. Divide by -1.
Because you can't have a negative variable.
What'd you say, Sam?
You can't have a negative variable.
Right, when we're in our final answer, we want the variable positive. Yep, positive Z by itself, which is exactly what we have now. And Sam, can you finish that? What's 4 divided by -1? -4.
Guys, that's gonna show up a lot this year when you come to that last step. You have a negative attached to the variable. Not just a regular, like a negative, no, like not 2, not 5, not 21, right? It's a negative only, just a negative sign attached to the variable. You have to divide by -1 because it's good. Like Sam just said, you can't have a single variable that's negative, but it has to be positive. Like when you have -2z, if you have -2z, you divide by -2. It's just a little different because most times we're not going to put that 1 there. It's just going to be the variable by itself. So the variable is just -x, -a, -c. You have to divide by -1 because the single variable can't be negative.
All right, so for this one, why don't you guys give this one a shot? Okay, the last one we've got, it's got some fractions in it, so we're going to help you through that one. But try this one, take a couple minutes, see what you can do. Okay, so a lot of people, they did the first step right. What was the first thing most people did here? Caitlin?
Difference from 7.
Yeah, they combined 5x minus 7x. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do. Okay, most people knew to do that, but then some people messed up the sign here. What's 5x take away 7x? Yeah? Negative 2x. What do you think the mistake was that Mr. Roy and I saw as we walked around? Instead of a -2, they had a what? Yeah? They had a +2. Okay, unfortunately, if you put +2, that's going to mess us up later on. Okay, so it is -2. Okay, next thing. We have the variable on the right. Okay? The thing with the variable is on the right. That means everything that's not a variable is going on the left. Okay, we don't want to move anything else on the right. I saw that mistake too. Okay, we're going to put the 25 on the left. All right, so how do I do that? Sam?
Subtract 25 from those sides.
Good. This is the add or subtract step.
I'm not only doing -20 equals -2.
Good. Another mistake, okay, we saw here, I bet Mr. Roy saw this.
Yeah.
I saw +20. All right, if you've got $5 and you spent $25, you spent way more than you have, you're going negative. All right, that's -20.
Or like I've talked about with you guys, which number is bigger? Ignore the sign. Actually, yeah, which number is bigger? 25 or 5? Come on now. What number's bigger?
25.
25, right? What's the sign with 25?
Negative.
Bring that negative sign down right away so you don't make a mistake. And then read it from the bigger number to the smaller number. It'll make more sense. 25 minus 5 is 20. Okay? So you already have your negative sign taken care of. You brought it down at the beginning. 25 minus 5, 20. Okay? Or, if all else fails, calculate. Right? Because when you get older, you have to like balance a checkbook or something like that. And you're not a math genius like Mr. Hager. You have to use a calculator. Like last night, I had to move some money around. I had to use a calculator. It's okay. You're not going to get punished in real life for using a calculator.
All right, and then your last step here, okay, we got to get x by itself. So I'm going to divide by, careful, yeah, never divide by a letter, just the number. Yep, -2, -2, those are gone, and those are gone. 20 divided by 2, 10. Okay, and as I walked around, I saw a lot of people had 10, so that's good.
I think we have more than half of 10, Mr. Hager.
Nice.
We're doing something right.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right, this one I'm going to show you how to check real quick, only because it's a little different. How many places do I have to plug in 10? 2. There's 2 spots where there was x in the original problem. So when you check it, it's going to look like this. 5 times 10 minus 7 times 10. Okay, I don't think we've ever checked one where we had to plug it in twice. Right? So I'm just showing you how that works. 5 times 10 is 50. 7 times 10 is minus 70 plus 25. Okay, and now I got some big numbers here, so I'm just going to use my calculator. Maybe. We got 50 minus 70 plus 25. 5. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to
Guys,
do.
and if you did that 50 minus 70, don't make the mistake Mr. Hager talked about it. If you have like a calculator like Ryan has right here, like a calculator like this, don't make the mistake of putting the little negative in the parentheses. Don't hit that button, hit minus. It's 50 minus 70.
All right, so I think what we're going to do, guys, since we've done a lot of the solving, I'm going to skip example 6 for now. Okay, if we have a little extra time, we'll come back to it.
Or maybe we'll do one.
Do it at the end or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to get to this type because we haven't done this yet. Okay, we haven't done a word problem. All right, so let's go to example 7 on your note sheet. Okay, it says, I'm just going to read it. 5 times Mary's age decreased by 17 is 28. How old is she? Okay, who can tell me some important things in that sentence so that when we change this to an equation, these things are going to be very important? Yeah, Victor?
Times.
Times, that's good. That's really important. Victor? Sorry, we just got Victor. Brian?
Decrease.
Yep, decreased by. Okay. What else? Something else that's important, Rose?
17 and 28.
Yeah, your numbers are always important. 17, 28, and the 5. And I think there's one more thing we need, and this is going to represent our letter. Yep, Alexis? Mary's age. Right? Let's start with 5. Okay, 5, just 5. Okay, the next word, what operation is that?
Multiply.
Multiply. So we're multiplying 5 times something. 5 times, what are we multiplying 5 by?
Just doing X.
Yeah, you could call it X, you could call it M for Mary's age. Okay, but you got to represent Mary's age with a variable. 5 times, Victor did it perfect, X, decreased by. What operation is that?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Decreased by. Okay, somebody else, decreased by how much? How about Ben, what are we decreasing by?
17.
Good, we're decreasing it by 17. We missed one word that's really important. Yeah, go ahead.
Is
Do you remember what that means, Ryan?
equals.
Equals. Okay, so we're just translating each thing one step at a time as we go. Okay, is equals what? What's the very last thing? Ryan?
In the written part, Ryan, what comes after is? In the written part, it's up to like 5 times. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What comes after is?
What,
Huh?
what, 8? You say 8?
What comes after is? See is right there? What comes after it?
Oh, is,
You don't have to calculate anything, Ryan. It's written right on the board. It's one of the things I have underlined.
5?
So we've got 5. So we took care of this.
Yeah.
Times, that's the parentheses. Mary's age, that's that part. Okay, decreased by,
Oh, 28.
There
yeah,
you go.
the 17 is equals. Now we got the 28. We took care of everything we needed to. Okay, now my last step is just to solve it. All right? So this is how we normally write it. You don't need to keep the parentheses. I just had them in there when I was writing it out. And first thing I'm going to check for is simplify. Any distributive property here, Michaela? Yep.
5x minus 17.
Do you see some, remember, distributive property, you're always going to see parentheses. You're going to see like something added on the inside and like a number on the outside. Do you see anything like that in this problem? So you think,
Yeah, she said no.
no, there's no distributive property.
You got confused.
Okay, there's no combining like terms. Okay? The terms on the left, one of them has an x, one of them doesn't. Can't combine those. And there's only one thing on the right. Okay, so no simplifying here. Okay, who can tell me my next step to get x by itself? Jalen? Good. We're going to add 17 to both sides. Negative 17 plus 17, that cancels out. And anybody do 28 plus 17? If not, we'll use our calculator, but if we can do it, see if we can do it. Yeah, Ben?
45.
Good, 45. Okay. Now we had an equation that had 2 steps in it. Now we're down to equation 1 step left and we're done. What's my last step to get x by itself? And then I will know how old Mary is. Brian? Good. Divide by what? By 5. Perfect. Okay. Divide each side by 5. And how old is Mary? Caitlin? 9. Okay. If you want to put a label on it because it was a word problem, she's 9 years old. Okay, so that's solving 2-step equations. Okay, 2-step equations. Okay, so the homework tonight is going to be a worksheet. And don't forget, make sure you bring a binder in and any paperwork you need to still turn in by tomorrow.